Right. Mayor, committeemen, thank you for allowing us the honor to come here and speak to you about the proposed project here in Chesterfield Township. Very much appreciate the opportunity to inform you about the project and the proposed facilities. My name is David Martinkus. I'm a senior project manager with Williams Transco Pipeline, working on the Garden State project. And I'd like to begin the presentation by giving you a little bit of background on Transco and what it is that we do. We are a natural gas pipeline company. We own and operate an interstate gas pipeline. We operate over 10,000 miles of pipeline throughout the country, primarily pipe that originates along the Gulf Coast and transports natural gas to the Northeast. We have over 56 compressor stations along that pipeline system, and we're designed to deliver peak day capacity of over 10 BCF a day, more than enough natural gas to power and supply gas for over 25 million homes in the country. Nationally, we transport 10% of all natural gas consumed in the country and supply over 60% of gas in New Jersey. A little bit about the regulatory process that governs our industry. We are regulated as part of under the Natural Gas Act by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and it is the governing body that determines whether a project is something that should be built and serves the public interest. Under FERC requirements, Transco is an open access pipeline. This means that we do not own the gas that we transport, but rather we transport gas for our customers. It also means that we are not able to deny access to our pipeline system. If a customer approaches us with a transportation request, provided that customer can meet our gas quality requirements and agrees to our transportation rates, we are required to provide access to our pipeline system. And going into the specifics of the Garden State expansion project, the project is intended to provide natural gas for New Jersey Natural, a local distribution company in the state of New Jersey, and provide enhanced reliability to them in the event of significant weather events which could threaten their ability to service customers. The project is intended to provide redundancy or reliability of service to its customers in New Jersey Natural Southern Service Territory. If FERC has determined that the project is necessary and grants a certificate to construct the facilities, then Transco will proceed with construction.
May I interrupt for a second? Mark, we're going to get a copy of the transcript, right? We're going to get a copy of the transcript.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Is it possible to turn up the volume a little bit?
David, can you just hold it?
Okay. Is this any better? Okay. So the project includes 2 phases of construction activities. During phase 1, it has a target in service date, assuming FERC approval of the project of November 1st of 2016. The phase 1 facilities consist of upgrading the existing motor at our compressor station in Mercer County, New Jersey, and constructing a new M&R station in Chesterfield, New Jersey. Phase 2 of the project has a target in service date of June 1st of 2017. The scope of that phase consists of reconfiguring existing compressors and upgrading existing electric motors at our compressor station in Mercer County, New Jersey. We'll also be looking to construct a proposed compressor station here in Chesterfield Township, and along with that, an associated electric substation that would provide the power that is then used to operate the motor at the compressor station. A high-level overview of the schedule of the project. The FERC application for the project was filed in the first quarter of 2015. And the fourth quarter of this year, FERC issued an environmental assessment for the project. Right now, we are anticipating potential receipt of a FERC certificate in the first quarter of 2016, and then would initiate construction activities following the issuance of that certificate. And then following the initiation of phase 1 construction activities, it would segue into the start of phase 2 construction activities to allow for us to meet our target and service dates. Just to briefly touch upon some of the community benefits, this project has a considerable short-term construction labor force. We're anticipating about 70 short-term construction employees over an average of 14 months. It's expected that half of these workers would be area residents pulled from local union halls and would reside within the area and commute to the project site on a daily basis. The other half we would anticipate to work within the area, but potentially utilize temporary housing available in the community. A total of 10 permanent employees will work from the new compressor station during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock to 3:30. A number of those employees will transfer from existing Transco locations, and we plan to hire an additional 2 new employees specific to this location. And also, one of the additional benefits would be the increased property tax base that the township and the county would receive. And then the new facilities would strengthen the natural gas infrastructure of New Jersey, particularly adding enhanced reliability for customers in the southern part of the state. And now I'd like to go over an overview of the facilities that are proposed in Chesterfield Township, focusing on the compressor station and the meter station. Just to give a little bit of background on what compressor stations really are, outside of the industry, there may not be as common knowledge. Compressor stations are really the engine that power an interstate natural gas pipeline. We compress the gas to move it through the pipeline, and so essentially pushing it out to our pipeline to maintain flow. Compressor stations are prevalent throughout pipeline systems, and on our system they range in distance from every 40 to 100 miles along the pipeline. This compressor station, the proposed compressor station, ties into an existing Transco pipeline that's been in the area operating. Transco's not installing any new mainline gas pipe associated with this project. And then this compressor station would be powered using an electric motor, which results in no emissions from the operation of that electric motor. And just to give a map of where the proposed location's at, it's near the intersection of Bordentown-Chesterfield Road and the New Jersey Turnpike. There are 2 tracks that we're looking at within Chesterfield Township where we would propose to locate above ground facilities. Both tracks have been acquired by Transco. There's one track immediately adjacent to the Turnpike and then another a little bit to the south of it. And these are some site renderings that have been developed just to provide a representation for what the facilities would ultimately look like at the termination of construction activities. This is the compressor station facilities here. The meter station is over here. The electric substation would be here, and the tie-in point with the existing pipelines would be back in this corner with the piping connecting over to the compressor station facilities. The next view is a view from the driveway entrance into the compressor station off of Bordentown-Chesterfield Road. This is a view from along Bordentown-Chesterfield Road, kind of looking back at the compressor station facilities. And this is a view from Bordentown-Chesterfield Road, looking at what the substation facilities would look like back into that property. And just to touch upon the permitting associated with the project, there's a variety of federal, state, and local permitting that is required in order to initiate construction of the facilities. We're working with these government institutions to obtain the necessary permit approvals that would be required to initiate construction of the project. Also, we'd like to address just some of the impact of potential local water wells. There's been, I believe, some misinformation that was associated in the EA. We've since gone back and looked at it. We'd just like to provide factual information at this point. Since the initial FERC application, we understand there's a number of private wells within the area of the proposed compressor station facilities. We will be filing a corrected record with FERC, commenting to the EA. The search that was initially conducted just looked to major wells, more of commercial wells, and didn't take into account private wells in the database that was obtained with DEP. FERC's review of the water wells is focused on wells within 150 feet of the proposed construction workspace to ensure there are no potential for temporarily impacting those wells during the course of construction. FERC indicated, I think, within the EA that there were no water wells within up to a mile of the project, but the mile was an arbitrary number that, from FERC's standpoint, doesn't necessarily have bearing on the project. The more immediate concern from FERC's standpoint is water wells that could be temporarily impacted during construction activities, and so the radius is within 100 feet. And so FERC's concerns regarding wells are to ensure that there's no impact with proposed construction activities, and so they look to identify water wells within 150 feet of the limits of construction. We will work with landowners to ensure that there is no impact to those wells during construction. The operation of the compressor station does not have the potential to have any permanent impact on wells at any distance from the compressor station, that at the completion of construction activities, there is no ability to have impact. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to Russ to talk about some of the operational considerations of the compressor station.
Good evening. My name is Russ Markowski. I'm a Senior Operations Manager for Williams. I've been with the company 26 years, and I manage basically half the state of New Jersey coming south. I have 3 compressor stations that I manage right now, 2 that are very similar, that are electric, that are very similar to the proposed station that we're talking about tonight. Facility operations. The facilities will be designed, constructed, and commissioned strictly in accordance with all applicable code standards and specifications. Station 203, if constructed, will be equipped with federally required and industry recognized safety features such as pressure relief valves, emergency shutdown systems, and gas and fire detection devices. Station 203 will also be designed for remote operation and monitored 24/7 by our Williams Gas Control. That's typical with all of our stations. They're automated. Automation will include computerized controls, backup mechanical controls, which can automatically shut down equipment, isolate the facility from the pipeline, and safely vent gas if needed. All activities will be performed by qualified individuals as defined by the company's operator qualified plan and as prescribed by the U.S. Department of Transportation Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, commonly known as PHMSA. An independent natural gas fuel standby generator will be installed to provide power to keep control, safety, and communication systems in the event of electric service loss. If we lose the high power lines and don't have electric to the station, we cannot run. The generator is only there to provide these backup safety systems. Per New Jersey requirements, all natural gas must be odorized in the state of New Jersey, and our normal operations involving the venting of gas will utilize gas deodorizers to limit the impact from smells of the mercaptanates in the gas. Talk a little bit about some terms that are used in the industry. Blowdown refers to a controlled release of natural gas that is vented to the atmosphere. Natural gas, which is mostly composed of methane, is colorless, odorless, and lighter than air. It rapidly rises in the atmosphere and dissipates. Mercaptan is deodorant that is added to the natural gas to give it the rotten egg smell. It's heavier than air and can linger when the natural gas is vented. The gas will actually rise, but sometimes the mercaptan smells out and it falls out, and that's what you still smell. The lingering smell of mercaptan is a desirable feature to allow the public to detect the presence of natural gas. Unit venting occurs for scheduled maintenance activities on the average of 5 to 10 times per year. The gas that is vented will be directed through a charcoal filter to remove deodorant and through a silencer to reduce any noise. Unplanned station blowdowns are highly infrequent in nature and are not part of any normal operations. Gas is released directly into the atmosphere without the filtration or going through a silencer. Pipeline blowdowns refer to the venting of a section of main gas pipeline. Pipeline blowdowns occur for pipeline maintenance or construction activities. These blowdowns are the largest in the volume of gas that is vented. The pipeline pressure is reduced as much as possible to reduce the overall volume of gas, and oftentimes portable compression trailers are brought in to further reduce the pressure. Area emergency officials are notified in advance of any planned pipeline blowdowns. In recent years, Transco has also elected to utilize a portable deodorizer trailer to remove odorant from the gas that is vented. This project will involve no additional mainline pipe blowdowns and will not increase the frequency of blowdowns or the quantity of gas that is vented in the event of a mainline blowdown. A little bit about lighting and landscaping. Transco has designed this station with dark sky compliant LED lighting at the compressor station. This lighting direct lights downward to reduce the light visible from neighboring properties. Nighttime lighting will be minimized to provide only enough light for station security under normal operations. In the event station personnel are working at the station after dark, the required additional lighting at night, area lighting will be utilized to allow lighting only the areas of the station where the work is occurring. Transco would also hire a local landscaping contractor to provide landscaping to screen the facility from the roadway. Landscaping will be consistent with Transco security requirements. Some facts about the air quality. During construction, the impacts to air quality. Construction emissions would include earth-moving construction equipment exhaust, on-road vehicle traffic, and off-road vehicle traffic. Construction emissions are monitored throughout the construction process and submitted to oversight agencies. Emissions from the use of construction equipment would result in short-term localized impacts and not significantly increase ambient air pollutant concentrations. Our operation impacts to air quality. The new equipment at Station 203 would include electric-driven compressors and a natural gas-fired standby generator, thereby sufficiently avoiding air quality or health impacts. The only new emission sources for the project would be operational venting at Station 203 or the new meter station or from the operation of the standby generator. Emissions from operation of these facilities result in insignificant air quality impacts. Discuss noise. Transco conducted a pre-construction study in December of 2014 to measure existing noise level at the location of the proposed 203 site and the meter station site. The estimated noise increase attributable to the compressor station at nearby noise-sensitive areas would range from 0 to 0.8 dBA, which is below the 3 dBA threshold of noticeable difference for humans. After construction, a post-construction noise survey will be conducted to demonstrate that the compressor station complies with all noise requirements. Construction of the facilities would involve the operation of general construction equipment which would generate noise during the construction of the project. In the environmental assessment, the FERC determined that the construction noise would not result in significant noise impacts on residents or the surrounding communities. This gives you a chart where the typical noise level that FERC allows for the construction of our facility at the fence line would fall in between there on the dBA scale. Station 203 must be designed, constructed, operated, and maintained in accordance with the U.S. Department of Transportation's minimum federal safety standards found at 49 CFR Part 192. Compressor station piping must meet specific design requirements based on its area's classification, which in turn are based on population density in the vicinity of the proposed facility. Transco is required by federal regulations to establish a written emergency plan and includes procedures to minimize the hazards in an emergency. A site-specific emergency response plan will also be prepared in consultation with local emergency responders. Williams personnel receive extensive security, safety, and incident response training. In addition, they meet with local emergency responders on an annual basis to provide training. On safety and security, our facilities, if constructed, will be enclosed by a 6-foot-tall security fence topped with additional 1-foot 3-strand barbed wire section as well as access control gates. The facilities will be staffed by on-site personnel during normal business hours, which are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., and monitored 24/7 by our gas control center. The facilities will include a comprehensive security system that will be remotely monitored 24/7 and will include alarms for all buildings, strategically placed lighting, security cameras with remote monitoring, control, and recording capabilities. An emergency 800 number will be provided to the township and made available to the public. It's the same number that we use today. It's on all of our markers and all of our signage, but it will place any caller in direct contact with someone at our 24-hour gas control center who could address any safety or security concerns. This is just a kind of a map talking about a lot of the safety things that we do all together. Some of the stuff that we do, starting with the helicopter, we actually fly a plane over the line. Currently, we do these things. We fly a plane over the line on a weekly basis, weather permitting. We have foot patrols that use gas-sensitive equipment. We do maintenance on our valves a couple times a year. We have patrol in vehicles looking for any third-party construction and any security concerns. We also run inspection tools through the pipeline, the existing pipeline that's there today. We've run these tools through that look for any kind of pipe defects, and so on and so forth. And we could discuss that with some of the question period. If you need additional information, you can go to the FERC website at www.ferc.gov. That docket number will be for this project. And if you need any information from Williams, we have the the website and the toll-free number, and I'll leave that up if anybody's writing it down. That was the last slide.